This is an Audi A6 C6 with the 3-liter TDI engine, and this is the damn engine air filter. Let's replace it. After you lift the engine plastic cover, you have to remove this turbo intake hose. For this you need a 7mm socket to remove the two clamps. Instead of the socket, it is possible to use a smaller flathead screwdriver, but that's not that convenient. Next you have to remove the mass airflow sensor. It's held in place by two metallic clamps. The second clamp is a bit hidden, but you will find it. The clamps can be unclipped either with this kind of a plastic tool or with a longer flathead screwdriver. After this you can wiggle the sensor body out. Just pay attention to the plastic centering cone and pay attention to the sensor wiring, so don't pull out the MEF body like an animal. Next you have to remove the front plastic air intake hose. I also removed the plastic guide in front of it, which is held in place with two Phillips head screws, but that's not necessary. The air filter housing has an outer and an inner section, but you have to remove only the inner section. This part is attached to the outer section by two metallic clamps on the upper side, and on the lower side it is held by a couple of plastic teeth. After unclipping the clips, you can separate the two sections. Just hold the outer section and at the same time pull the inner section out and up. By the way, it's definitely a good idea to put a clean rag into the turbo intake to avoid dirt getting into the turbocharger. Lastly, to remove the air filter you have to remove the two Phillips head screws which are holding it in place. As you can see, there is a bit of difference between the old and the new filter. The old filter has been there for approximately 30,000 kilometers, but according to the service book, it should be changed only after 60,000 kilometers. Before putting the new filter back, it's always a good idea to clean the air filter housing, and if you want to be really thorough, then you can remove even this plastic part from the inner housing. It's held in place by three small plastic tabs. Just push them inside and wiggle the part out. Putting back the new filter should not cause you any trouble, but pay attention to a couple of things. After fitting the new filter to the air filter housing, you have to put some grease onto the small seal on the front positioning cone of the filter. Without putting grease onto the seal, you won't be able to push the filter into the positioning groove, which is on the outer part of the air filter housing. Also, before putting together the air filter housing, make sure that the outer air filter housing section is not moving, since there is a plastic tab which holds this part in place. Now finally, you can put together both the air filter housing parts. They should connect easily and firmly. Next, don't forget the second seal on the air filter. If you got a new seal with the new filter, then simply replace it. If you don't have a new seal, then you can reuse the old one if it's not damaged. It's also good to put some grease onto this seal, or you can put some grease on the MEF sensor housing lip. After this, just put everything back as it was, and that's it.